Socrates once said that if a person develops bad habits, they are forever repaying an endless debt. Those with poor habits are always attempting to compensate for yesterday's regrets with today's experiences. Day by day, as enthusiasm wanes and confidence fades, life inexorably declines. Today, I share with you 9 habits of weakness distilled by Harvard University. If you find yourself possessing any, it is imperative to transform them promptly. 1. Making excuses. In the words of Talmud, making excuses is the anthem of the weak. Some individuals, regardless of the task at hand, can conjure a plethora of reasons to mask their laziness and incompetence. They contemplate going for a run, but find the sun too scorching or fear getting drenched in the rain. They aspire to acquire a new skill but doubt their innate abilities. Refusing to invest money and effort, or believing their modest circumstances render success unattainable, they choose to stagnate and waste away, embracing the excuse culture. Remember, failure a few times over isn't daunting. What's truly fearsome is someone who would rather wallow in the mire than effect change. Those who have achieved greatness weren't born infallible. They learned from each setback, transforming errors into opportunities for growth. Without profound introspection, there can be no remarkable self-transcendence. Seek inward for solutions, confront yourself, mend each flaw, and only then can you continually evolve and progress. 2. Lack of courage. There's a saying, for the brave, the world is a grand playground, full of exhilarating adventures, but for the timid, it's a hell where injury lurks at every turn. The fortune of each individual hinges on their courage. If you dare not run, you'll never reach the finish line. If you fear failure, success will never knock on your door. Rousseau also proclaimed that one's worth is self-determined. We each traverse this world only once, and our ultimate destination is the same. How we navigate this journey depends on our personal choices. One can remain stagnant, confined to their comfort zone, letting time slip away into oblivion, or they can brave the thorns, break through barriers, and experience unprecedented wonders and expanses. Life is fleeting, don't live it in monotony. Love someone, climb a mountain, chase a dream. Anything is possible if you dare to try. Destiny always favors the brave who dare to seize the moment. 3. Indecisiveness. Careful observation reveals that the outstanding individuals in life share a common trait, decisiveness. Once they make a decision, they forge ahead resolutely, refusing to relent until they achieve their goals. In fact, what often determines success or failure is not innate talent or opportunity, but rather the power of decisive action. Author Li Shanglong recounted a story from his days as an English teacher where he met a colleague named Fangjie. Both desired to pursue writing. Li diligently typed away on his computer after work, honing his writing skills and actively submitting articles to various publications. Fangjie, on the other hand, felt she was too old, and writing provided an unstable income. She hesitated to make a commitment. Several years later, when Li Shanglong became a best-selling author, Fangjie remained a regular teacher. As Human Cluster of Stars wrote, when the moment to change one's destiny arrives, hesitation succumbs to defeat. Perhaps you worry the time isn't right, fear you're not prepared enough, or dread the risks involved, thus repeatedly dissuading yourself from trying. However, the result is an eternity of regret spent idling away in wasted time. As the saying goes, all questions lead to answers through action. The most terrifying aspect of life isn't failure, but never taking that first step. Don't overthink, take action. Even if you stumble, it's better than aimlessly lingering in hesitation and indecision. 4. Resistance to learning. Have you realized that, although you're still young, you're actually falling behind? While you're still manually drawing and typing, others have begun utilizing smart tools. The skills you've honed over the years at work can quickly be grasped by new colleagues, who may even devise simpler methods. We once believed that having a job would provide security and peace of mind, but in just a few years, we could easily be replaced. American futurist Alvin Toffler remarked that in the 21st century, true illiteracy isn't the inability to read or write, but rather the inability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Nowadays, the pace of knowledge turnover far exceeds what you might imagine. The only way to avoid obsolescence is through continuous learning and adaptation. You can broaden your horizons by reading extensively, enhance your cognitive abilities by mastering a skill to the forefront of your industry, or watch free online courses and obtain certifications to gain a competitive edge. Only by maintaining a commitment to lifelong learning can one weather the storms of the workplace and maintain relevance in the ever-changing tides of time. 5. Procrastination. According to scientific studies, many professionals suffer from procrastination. Half of them tend to postpone tasks until the last minute. Do you often find yourself in this situation? The alarm clock rings in the morning, but you're reluctant to get out of bed. You plan to tidy up your room on the weekend, but end up spending the day scrolling through your phone in bed. You could have completed your work earlier, but you wait until the deadline approaches. Many things are put off repeatedly, and you keep telling yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow." Eventually, everything piles up until one day it all erupts, leaving you scrambling and overwhelmed. Some say procrastination is a slow-acting poison that quietly corrodes your life. Remember, difficulties won't vanish on their own. Your energy is finite, and you can't tackle a mountain of tasks in a day or two. If you have a habit of procrastination, try implementing the 5-minute rule. When you've planned something, without thinking too much, dive into it for just 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you'll likely be immersed enough to continue until the task is completed. By tackling things ahead of time, many problems naturally resolve themselves, and your life becomes more calm and orderly. 6. Lack of perseverance. Harvard University conducted a 25-year longitudinal study on a group of graduates and found that those who achieved greater success had early career clarity and displayed unwavering perseverance. Conversely, those who remained stagnant often abandoned their pursuits midway or frequently switched industries. American writer Johnson once remarked that great work isn't accomplished through strength, but through perseverance. Outstanding individuals simply exhibit a bit more persistence than others. Renowned cartoonist Cai Gijón began drawing at the age of 15. During his toughest times, he lived in a tiny room of just a few square meters. He had to sell over 400 drawings every month just to make ends meet. Neither material poverty nor mental anguish deterred him from his passion for drawing. He devoted himself to his beloved craft, practicing diligently every day. Eventually, Cai Gijón gained recognition as a master cartoonist. As the ancients said, step by step one travels far. Success isn't immediate, it stems from perseverance and accumulation. As long as you proceed steadily, step by step, even if progress seems slow, you can reach the end of your dreams. 7. Fear of rejection. There's a topic online about the things people have done because they fear rejection. Some refrain from confessing their feelings to someone they like, leading to the premature end of a potential relationship. Others hesitate to volunteer for opportunities at work, letting promotion chances slip away quietly. Some face problems they can't solve but are too embarrassed to ask for help, leaving themselves feeling frustrated and helpless repeatedly. Psychologically, these individuals are referred to as rejection sensitive. They often excessively worry about others' opinions, feeling anxious even before taking action. And once rejected, they begin to doubt themselves, labeling themselves as failures. Psychologist Shu Manman explains that rejection is a normal phenomenon, neither indicating inadequacy nor intending to harm you. Interpersonal interactions are akin to conducting a random experiment. Any outcome is possible. If someone rejects you in one aspect, it doesn't reflect any flaw in your entirety. When interacting with others, it's okay to be more relaxed. In life, what matters most isn't how others perceive you, but how comfortable and free you feel living your own life. 8. Setting limits. Have you heard of the flea principle? It's known that under normal circumstances, a flea can jump to a height 100 times its own. However, if you confine a flea under a glass jar for a few attempts, it will adapt to the height of the jar and begin jumping significantly lower. Eventually, even if you remove the jar, the flea won't jump as high as it once did. Life's goals are like those glass jars, and it's up to you to determine their heights. If you're accustomed to staying within your comfort zone, doing things effortlessly, you'll experience a degradation of abilities, much like the flea, and find yourself trapped in a cycle of mere survival. Daunting once said that the meaning of life lies in exploration, not in stagnation. We only live once to experience the rich tapestry of life, not to confine ourselves to a small space. Regardless of social class, financial status, or innate talent, none should hinder the courageous. Embrace new challenges, endure painful transformations, and break through layers of barriers to approach a better life. 9. Evading reality. These days, many people's lives seem inseparable from the word escape. They encounter a slight setback at work and immediately resign, retreating to the comfort of their homes. When faced with minor conflicts, they find them intolerable and swiftly sever ties. For anything they dislike or find disagreeable, they bury their heads in the sand like ostriches, ignoring it altogether. Unfortunately, this approach often leads to unresolved issues, leaving their inner selves increasingly fragile. Writer Hu Shaomai posits that evasion is essentially a form of cowardly refusal to confront reality, and life often retaliates twofold as a consequence. In life, everyone encounters people and situations they'd rather avoid, but relentless avoidance won't lead to tranquility. Instead, it only brings more suffering. There's a saying that a lively life isn't about forgetting the struggles through avoidance, but facing them head-on with determination. When you take the initiative to shoulder life's burdens, tackling each obstacle one by one, there's no difficulty you can't overcome. Aristotle once said that each person is forged by their repeated actions. Therefore, excellence isn't an act but a habit. Throughout life, we're shaped by countless habits. Good habits mold us, while bad habits deplete us. By discarding negative thoughts and actively adjusting small behaviors, you can enter a positive cycle and rewrite your destiny. Therefore, excellence isn't merely an action but a habit. Throughout life, we are the sum of countless habits. Good habits shape us, while bad habits deplete us. By discarding negative thoughts and actively adjusting small behaviors, you can enter a positive cycle and rewrite your destiny. May you also rid yourself of these 9 habits of weakness and lead each day with fulfillment and purpose. Well, that concludes today's sharing. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe, share, and leave a comment below. Until the next video, take care.